About the AFC South. So I think
there's a history in this league of
Brought him up.
That's an example.
So
I didn't want to make
finish
him the
this.
subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready.
you have no idea what song
I
it is.
have no idea what song it is.
It's a hot song right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Doug Serravo Show, which is brought to you by unsolicited role models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. This is Dougie's Political Talk, which is brought to you by the Doug Serravo Show. All right, Shane, so I want to get started with TikTok, because there was a TikTok ban for just about 15 hours.
Yeah.
And I am concerned. I am concerned with how people reacted to it. And, you know, you mentioned to me off the air that it was done by the left. The left did it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was originally started by President Trump, it was originally brought upon by President Trump while he was in the White House in his first term for a national security threat.
Okay.
Which makes sense a little bit. What are your thoughts on this short-term TikTok ban?
I think it was the last way for the Democrats to pull a fast one on the Republican Party before they left. I personally like the app. I think it's a cool app as well.
So you believe the left did this?
Yes. They were trying to take it down when for like a year or so.
I get that, but it was also started by President Trump. President Trump originally said, let's ban TikTok. It is a national security threat.
And he was questioned recently that, it helped me win the election.
So I take it into, and I understand the whole national security threat, which I believe it is because it's a Chinese-based company.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm more concerned with society and the human nature of it, and how people overreacted to not being able to use a social media app. So my thoughts on that is, where do we go as humans moving forward? Because I feel like if we're going to overreact over a social media app, now I'm not, it could be the whole idea of freedom of speech, this and that. There's very variables to how people react. But for me, it's more of a concern of us going forward. That we're always, and I'm guilty of it. We're always going to be constantly glued to our phones, scrolling Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, X, whatever app we use. Go on your phone and look at your screen time. Tell me what your screen time is. Not now, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
And for some people, they go to bed.
They call it doom scrolling. So
yeah, like people try to, like for me, I say I'm going to bed by 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and I'm scrolling on my phone for an hour. I think that's a problem for us moving forward. I think we have to get past the whole idea that the cell phone, social media, is the most important thing for our life. Because it's not.
Yeah.
Like you go out, you enjoy nature, you enjoy life.
But I use the phone to find the places I'm going to.
So you're in favor of TikTok?
Yes. Because I wouldn't get the inspiration from other people. Because the phone's listening to what you are liking. It's listening. So do you ever get YouTube videos on how to do a better podcast?
So are you saying that our cell phones track us? Is that
Yes.
what you're implying?
That's what they do. It's literally listening to you right at this moment. And it'll start giving you cookies. They call it cookies to give you different stuff for search engines and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like me. For some reason on my Facebook now, I know there's some like some mutual friends,
Yeah.
but I only have like one or two.
Yeah.
Almost every coworker that we work with, that you used to work with, would come up on my phone as people you may know to add on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, how do they know that I'm always here? Even too, GPS on your phone, your maps. It shows you like
Yes.
if it's a Wednesday, I'm going to Molly's, and my car automatically connects my GPS to going to Molly's. Or if I go to a restaurant or a church, my GPS automatically picks it up. So I could
Yes.
understand the whole idea of national security threat. I applaud President Trump for looking at that. I applaud even President Joe Biden for wanting to look at that. But I feel like it's an issue the way people reacted to not having the app. Like, if we're so glued to our phones, it's going to destroy a lot for us, Shane, in society, in our families, in our world. Even, too, you go out to dinner, everybody is on their phone. Everybody is doing this. They're not having a steady conversation.
It's the new newspaper. Nobody reads magazines anymore. Nobody really reads. I mean, people read books, but it's the new version of the newspaper. Everyone
I
has
hear
a
you.
newspaper on, or you know what I'm saying, Doug?
Yeah, I agree with you.
There will
But
be
I just feel
something in
like
the
there's
future
more
that will
variables
replace
and
the
issues to
phones.
it.
Because they had flip phones back 20 years ago. Right? Remember that, Doug? They didn't have the smartphone 20
No, I
years
get
ago.
that.
So
I totally get that, and I understand other point
tech's
of
always
views to it.
evolving. Tech is always evolving.
Yeah. So, from your point of view, do you truly believe that there's a national security issue within this app called TikTok, or do you think it's a scare tactic from both sides, Republicans and Democrats? Because I feel like it
It's
was
a
a
scare tactic, but they do need to buy it from the Chinese company
Yeah,
just so that we can have partial ownership of it as well.
yeah,
I mean, I don't think Elon Musk should buy it. He already owns X and
yeah. And he's in
Tesla and all
government,
that
so
stuff.
there may be a conflict of interest
I
within
think
that.
I can see like Kevin O'Leary, like you said.
Yeah, from Shark Tank, I heard that rumor going on as well too.
Yeah, I could see him buying it. You know, he's a businessman. He'll turn down all the deals. Oh, I don't want to invest in you.
Yeah. And
But I can
President
see him
Trump did
investing
say
in
TikTok
TikTok.
helped me win the election, so I could understand his love fest for it a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I
he
use the
changed
app.
his
I think
mind
it's a
on the
good app
app.
to make content, but at the end of the day, you have to find out the reason behind the ban.
Yeah,
And then you also have to find out why, like, what's in our mindset? How is, like, these apps going without apps going to affect, like, mental health? Because think about it. People go on Instagram, they compare likes. I post this photo, I get 5
Yes.
likes. This person can post the same exact photo, same spot, same vacation, and get over 200 likes within 10 minutes. So there's variables to social media and these apps.
yeah. Yeah. So okay.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we have much more to get to with Shane McKenna. Shane McKenna.
Going for the Super Bowl.
Heck,
That little
hold
hope
on,
going to the Super
hold
Bowl.
on, because that's not what Rogers said. Rogers said, I just care about winning the MVP. I don't care about winning.
No matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
And I was like, oh God, how do I stop this? So I
Look at that water behind me, James.
Jesus says in the scripture, they need to live their experience of their
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Doug Serrano Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. Doug Serrano Show presents Dougie's Political Talk. This is Shane McKenna live from Colorado. He's got Mount Rushmore in the background. He told me it's getting cold in Colorado. It's about 20 degrees here on the East Coast. So, Shane, we appreciate you coming on. I do believe you will be within the local area, so we'll do a show in person when you get here.
Okay.
So, a few days ago was Inauguration Day.
Yes, sir.
And President Trump is now in office. President Trump is back for his second term. The second time,
Officially.
first time was 45th. This time he is the 47th president. So, what are your thoughts on Inauguration Day, Shane?
Finally. Fucking finally. That was the longest 2 months ever. From
What about
November.
the longest 4 years?
It was the longest 4 months. No, 4 years. And those 2 months after he got elected, those 2 months was just like freaking. When is he going to take office and do his day one promises?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So you're a big traveler. You're a nature lover.
Yeah.
You like going to these mountains. You like to hike. And there's a lot of people. I guess you could call them activists.
Yeah.
That's complaining over the renaming of, I think it was Mount Sinai, and now it's Mount McKinley.
Denali.
Mount Denali, and now it's Mount McKinley. How do you feel? Because you're a historian.
It used to be called Mount McKinley.
Hold on, let me talk. Don't interrupt me on my show right now. You're a historian. You love going on nature, so I call you a little historian. How do you feel about the renaming of this? I know a lot of people are overreacting, mostly on the left. How do you feel about it, Shane?
It used to be called Mount McKinley in the first place. I don't know why they named it Denali, but now they got to name the truck GMC McKinley, all right?
So this is like overreaction from the left because
Yeah,
it's
it's an
not catering
overreaction
to
from
their
the left.
feelings.
It used to literally be called Mount McKinley before. I don't know why they changed it. You want me to look it up?
You can.
Uh,
You can. I could also pull it up because there's a lot. And I'm on social media a lot now because I'm posting a lot. I'm making my account more politically. I want to get outspoken. I want to say my beliefs. I like having the civil conversation from both sides. I like questioning both sides just to see what people think, their logic behind everything. Let's see. I'm pulling it up. It's in North America. It's about 20,310 feet above sea level.
So
it was first ascent June 7th, 1913.
okay, so what I just did was the indigenous people of Alaska named it Denali, and
Do you happen to have the year of that?
I don't necessarily. It was, and then in 1896, a gold prospector named it into support of the then President William McKinley, who did whatchamacallit, who imposed a bunch of tariffs and stuff on other countries as well. He was a businessman, president as well.
Yeah.
So
All right. So
it used to be called McKinley, but the native.
What I see it was a first. What does ascent mean? It says first ascent, June 7th, 1913.
That's when they first climbed up it, because it's a 20,000 foot mountain. It's a huge, monstrous mountain, literally located in Alaska. There's a national park up there called Denali National Park. But if they do name it Denali, if they're going to change the name to Denali, they're going to have to change the name of the national park as well.
All right. So yeah, it says Denali, also known as Mount McKinley, its former official name. Located in Alaska Range.
Yep.
And it says and Denali is the centerpiece of Denali National Park and Preserve.
Mm-hmm. And
now correct me if I'm wrong. The Kayakan people who inhabit the area around the mountain have referred to the peak as Denali for centuries.
Yes.
In 1896, a gold prospector named it Mount McKinley in support of then presidential candidate William McKinley, who later became the 25th president. McKinley's name was the official name recognized by the federal government of the United States from 1917 until 2015. In 2015, 40 years after Alaska had done so, the United States Department of the Interior announced the change of the official name of the mountain to Denali. On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump signed an executive order requiring the Secretary of the Interior to revert this name change within 30 days of orders signing. So basically, Shane, what I get out of this is a lot of people are overreacting to the name change because they have nothing else to do. And there's more important things to worry about than that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I get out of it. People are just, Donald Trump did this.
I don't
Donald
like
Trump
him.
did that. So they're reacting to something.
They're trying to attack him like they did, but it's
without
not
understanding, without realizing that McKinley, this name has been around.
Yes.
It looks like it's been named Mount McKinley for.
I was in school when they named it, when it was still named
for 40
Mount
years.
McKinley. Yeah.
For 40 years, and they changed it in 2015, and Donald Trump is basically giving back the name. So that's what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah, and it's a freaking huge mountain as well. It's the tallest mountain in the United States. So where I'm out in Colorado has 14ers. So there's like a couple 100 14er mountains. They're all 14,000 feet or above. And that's the highest it goes in the contiguous U.S. And then you go up to Alaska, and then there's Mount McKinley, which is 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely huge up there. You know, that's like almost. But then we don't have Mount Everest because that's in the Himalayas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another monster that I don't think I could do.
and so I want to get to another executive order that he signed. So he granted pardons and commutation of sentences for certain offenses related to the events at or near the United States Capitol on January 6th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I don't feel it was right what they did, but I do think, give them a second chance.
Well, the way I look at it is if you were a bystander and you're at the Capitol the day of January 6th, because there were a lot of people that just went and they wanted to go for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And they were arrested. They were put on FBI watch lists. They were put in jail. Then you deserve a pardon. You deserve it. You deserve your second chance. I think everyone deserves a second chance regardless. But if you were actually there and you were violent and you attacked people, you hurt people, this or that, then you deserve the consequences.
Yes, because this goes back to national security, because basically what that was a coup d'etat. That was classified what happened on January 6th. It wasn't a riot, it was a coup.
Yeah.
It was a coup. Even though Trump, they think that he didn't win or whatever happened in 2021, he ended up losing. I think it was a moment for the American people to wait out these 4 years and really see what this Democratic Party was going to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, some say it was an inside job, but some say that you could have your evidence, you could have whatever you want. But for me, I just feel like we have to be better as human beings.
Yes. Like we are better than, we were not a dictatorship. We are not a dictatorship. What happened on January 6th is something that like would happen in a third world country. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that's
So,
why.
like that was classified in my eyes as a coup.
Yeah,
You know, like I don't think it was right. I really don't. Um, they stormed into our fucking state building. You know, that's something that the fucking British did in the War of 1812.
I mean, I understand people are tired of politicians. I understand that,
You know,
but at
I
the
can
same
see it.
time, I
You
feel
know,
like there were bad people there, but there was also bystanders that just went for the hell of it,
yeah.
that got punished for basically doing nothing.
I don't think the guy that whatever he did with Nancy Pelosi's desk, you
Like,
know, QAnon or whatever the hell his name was, I don't think he should be pardoned.
yeah,
You know,
I think Trump
he
gave a
sat at
pardon to
Nancy
everybody,
Pelosi's
everybody
desk,
that was
stormed
there.
into the building. You know,
But like, let's say I was there and I decided to go there and film people and like try and interview them,
yeah.
and I happen to
If
get
they start
arrested or
rioting,
whatever, then I deserve a pardon.
yeah. Like
But if
if
you
they,
were
they
violent
started
and
rioting, you were doing your podcast
yeah, like
there.
if you're on the radical side of things, because there's
Yes,
radicals on both sides,
correct,
Republicans and Democrats.
correct.
Like people come to me and they're like, "Oh, you voted Trump," blah blah blah. Yeah, but I also
Like
question,
I was
but
bummed out that he didn't get in the second time
but I
around.
also question things about Republicans and Democrats.
But
You could say I lean in the middle, but I'm more conservative.
but I will say one thing: Trump did shoot himself in the foot in his first term, though.
In what way?
He did say some dumb shit, you know, while he was in the first term, and that's what kind of made people not vote for him the second time around.
Yeah, but in what way? What aspect?
He said, "Oh, let's the shithole countries." You remember he said that, and he said all kinds of
No,
dumb stuff.
I know what he said, but is he wrong in some aspects?
He's not. I mean, he's not
In
wrong,
some
but
things that he said, yeah, he shouldn't say it, but
yeah, he
is
shouldn't
he
have said it,
wrong
and
in some
that's
aspects
what
in the
caused
things he
him.
says?
Because I was saying this to somebody today, is he didn't know how to play the politics game. He was used to the business world, and now his second time around doing it, he was able to kind of crush the competition again, which is good. And
Yeah,
it gave him more people were on his side this time.
yeah. And then another thing that I like that he did
Because people
was,
realized we had a pretty better life under his administration.
yeah, I say we did.
Hmm.
Now, another thing that I like that President Trump signed was the return to in-person work for federal workers. If you're working in the federal government, you should not be working from home. So the
Yeah,
fact that he signed that as an executive order, I love that. Thank you,
yeah,
President Trump. Because I'm the taxpayer, I pay their salary. They
yeah,
should be working in D.C. You work for the federal government, you're not working from home. Not
yeah.
on President Trump's watch, and I definitely don't support that.
Okay.
So if
Yeah.
you're working for the federal government, you should be working in person, not from home.
I would like to do a remote controlled forklift from home, you know?
Yeah, well, that's irrelevant.
Yeah, like, dude, like, hey, just give me the tablet. I'll move the stuff around, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Costco. You know, I don't think Costco will let us do that, Doug,
And
right?
then a few things that he also did was withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization,
Yeah.
application of Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act to TikTok, putting America first in international environmental agreements.
Yeah, he cut all foreign aid right now,
Yeah.
currently.
And that's another thing I like about President Trump right now is cutting foreign aid. Put America
All foreign
first.
aid's getting cut right now, and it's all
Put
going.
America first. That's where I stand.
He is going to focus solely on North Carolina, Florida,
Hmm.
and recently California.
And then another thing that I liked is delivering emergency price relief for American families and defeating the cost of living crisis.
Yes. Another thing was the declaring a crisis at the southern border. It's a national
Yes.
emergency
Securing our borders.
because that is, and labeling the cartels as a terrorist organization.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that
Protecting
gives
the meaning and value of American citizenship. That's a
and
great thing.
the
Realigning the
controversial one.
United States Refugee Admissions Program is going to be based on merit.
Mm-hmm.
And then unleashing American energy. I believe we're going to drill in Alaska. And we could hopefully get our energy prices down, our oil prices down, so we could get gasoline cheap. People don't realize that. The reason why gasoline is high is because we get our oil from overseas, from Russia, from Venezuela. Why can't we drill here? Drill, baby, drill. Let's drill in the United States.
They
And
want to
then we
kind
could
of.
get and then we could get our own oil.
Here's what they want to do: is they want to kind of deplete the other countries' oils, and then when they're depleted, we want to kind of be the oil king. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Doug?
We have to put America first. Realistically, put America first. We shouldn't have to go overseas to get oil
Yeah,
when we
I
could
mean,
drill it here. Oh, this is the land, environmental. Nah, I don't play that game
they got drilling rigs all out here in the West. You know, they drill up in North Dakota, they drill up in Texas.
because we could get our own oil. We don't need to go to Russia. We don't know. We don't need to go to Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the executive orders he signed, restoring names that honor American greatness,
Yeah,
reforming the federal hiring process, and restoring merit to government service, ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing.
yeah.
Like you look at the mayor in Philadelphia. She couldn't
Uh-huh.
even spell Eagles the right way. The chant was like ELSLE.
Uh,
It's Eagles.
and the mayor of Denver, basically, where I'm at right now, if he doesn't follow the deportation order, he's fired.
Good. Fire him, Trump.
Fired.
Because that's how I look at it. If you have like
I
a
just
job
moved
or
to this
whatever it may
city.
be, like if you have a job or whatever it may be, it should be based on qualifications,
Yeah,
not not what you look like, not where you're from, not what you look like, where you're from. It should be on the best person that gets the job.
yeah.
Perfect example. Oh, Kamala Harris would be the great first female president. No, absolutely not.
So
That's why
I,
that's why people were voting for Kamala because of the what she could have been the first the first female black president. That's why a lot of people were voting for Kamala.
yeah,
But there are other great options out there. Like if you want your first qualified options, like if you want your first female president, go for Tulsi Gabbard. Go
yeah.
for Kristi Noem. Or if you want your first black
Mm,
female
she's good.
president, there's other options out there. Candace Owens, why not?
Kristi Noem, she's my favorite right now. South Dakota's governor.
Kristi Noem would be a great female president. That's why I'm
Yeah,
saying people look at identity rather than qualifications. That's how people look for things. Oh, we have to put this there. We have to put that there. No, I don't believe in that. If you're qualified for the job, it doesn't matter about a perfect example. Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame.
yeah,
He was asked, "How do you feel about being the first black coach to coach in a national championship game?" And he responded by saying, it's not about the color of my skin, but it's about more opportunities for people to be able to coach in this position, whether they're black, white, or Asian.
and they were giving out. It wasn't even just this. They'll get certain jobs. They'll get certain scholarships. Like, oh, if you're part Asian and Spanish, you'll get a full ride to Princeton University. You know,
Yeah.
and which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. You know.
Yeah, like it should be based on who they are. Your qualifications.
Yeah.
like the school you went to, the education background. I'm gonna see if I could get the video to play. All right, this is going to be it. All right, and I think this is where it should line up with. All right, because it's not always about the color of your skin. It's not always about where you're from. It's about
another
who you
thing
are.
is he said there's only 2 genders right now.
Oh, good. I'm happy about that.
I am tired of whatever the hell they've been doing, you know?
All right, so I'm
Like,
going to play this
make
clip.
You and James Franklin are kind of making history here. Can you kind of just put in perspective what it means to you to be, you know, one of 2 black coaches in this playoffs?
Yeah, it's again, you're very grateful. It's a reminder that you are a representation for many others, and many of our players that look the same way I do. That, you know, your color shouldn't matter, right? And that the evidence of your work should.
You are the first black head coach to go to a national championship game in college football. Just hearing that response alone, how much does this mean to you?
You know, I've said this before. I don't ever want to take attention away from the team. It is an honor, and I hope all coaches, minorities, black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, great people continue to get opportunities to lead young men like this. But this ain't about me, this is about us. And we're going to celebrate what we've done because it's something special.
Yeah, and that's...
I just paid off my student loan.
And that's what's a good thing about them. That's the merit we should have, and that's what the foundation should be for. It's not. It's about
that's ridiculous. Though
it's about great people getting great opportunities, no matter where they're from, what they look like, the color of their skin. At the end of the day, it don't matter. We all bleed the same red blood.
Yep.
So that's where I stand on it, at least.
All right.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we have much more to get to with Shane McKenna, and we'll see everybody on the next episode of The Doug Sharavo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We'll be right back.